Your conference is being recorded.
Cool. So now that I've scared you from giving any honest answer, we can get started.
No, you're fine. I've done this a couple of times, I want to say, and I've had them record me, so I'm good.
Oh, good. Awesome. Good. How's Arizona today?
It looks like it's going to be a nice day.
Yeah.
I can't really tell you because when I got in, it was dark, and now it's sunny, and I guess it's supposed to be nice. I really don't check the weather a whole lot.
Yeah, you guys don't have to. I mean, it's like 80 degree. I have a sister who lives, they spend the winters in Green Valley, further south, down in Tucson, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she likes to make fun of us all the time because, she lives here during the summer, but yeah, she wisely chose to spend winters down there instead of dealing with, snow in April and stuff like that.
Right. Did you just get snow again?
Yeah, we got about 8 inches of snow last Thursday. My son was out of school.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Wow.
No, which is even late for us. Like, people were pretty much losing their mind. But today it's beautiful. It's almost all gone, so we'll all survive.
Oh, okay. Well, he probably loved the extra snow day.
Oh, yeah, that was not a problem for him, and he was super happy. He's a teenager, so he wanted to be left alone all day. I'm like, cool, I'm just going to be out here in the kitchen working, and you go do your thing.
Oh, gosh.
Did you grow up in Arizona?
No, actually, I grew up in Oklahoma.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Oklahoma, and then I went to school on the East Coast, and then I ended up flipping 2 coins, and I ended up in Arizona.
Well, of all the places you could have ended up, that seems like a good place.
Yeah, hindsight was 2020. It was between here and Dallas, and tell you the truth, Dallas is so much closer to family and all that kind of stuff, and so you would have thought that Dallas would have been my first choice, but I was young, single, and I was like, why not? I might as well go check it out now.
And here you are.
Yep, I know. It's been 13 years, so.
Yeah, it's like me in Minnesota. I came here for grad school, to try grad school for American history, and I thought, yeah, I'll stay here a couple of years, and 26 years later, it's home, and it's a good place.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, I'm curious too, like, how did you become an advisor? Like, how did you get started in the industry? Just like that story.
Yeah, so I went to school at Boston University, and I was supposed to be the law school student. I was going to go to law school. I was going to run that route, and I ended up. My senior year, I ended up going to a bar with some buddies. We'd all gotten into law schools. We're all holding our letters. We're all knowing where we're going next year. And it was kind of one of those things where no one was happy, which is kind of a weird thing, especially when you had just gotten your acceptance letters. And so we did. We flipped a coin. None of us went. We all started looking for different roles.
Wow.
And, and I was a double in econ and political science with a minor in statistics and international relations. So I was already kind of down the finance route, and I interviewed with Goldman. I interviewed with just about everybody, and I took the Ameriprise interview as a favor to somebody. It was my college career counselor. Her advisor was with American Express, and they had just spun off, and so I took the interview. I ended up interviewing in a couple of different states with the firm, and the guy in Dallas gave me the role. He gave me all the paperwork and everything, and then he said, go look at Phoenix. He goes, I think that's what you want. You'll grow better, quicker, faster. Go look at Phoenix. And that's what put Phoenix on the map for me. And and I felt like he was the most honest person out of everybody that I'd interviewed with. And I ended up taking the role. So it was kind of lucky.
That is amazing. Especially all those different things coming together.
Yeah, it was. My family wasn't too excited about it. They were thoroughly disappointed. My sister's a physician. I was going to be the attorney. My brother was going to be the dentist. And we're a traditional Indian family. And my brother is not a dentist. He does foreign currency trading for Wells Fargo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I kind of opened the door for him to this, and he ran through it. I kind of busted it down, and he saw the fire exit, didn't want to do the dental thing, and so yeah, it's been good.
That's funny because I have my dad was a dentist and my mom was a nurse, and even well into my 30s, my dad was saying, you can still go back to dental school. People always need to get their teeth fixed. I'm like, I think I'm good, but thank you very much for your confidence in me.
Yeah, that's too funny. That's too funny.
So have you've been with Ameriprise the whole time then?
Yep. I started off in this channel, in the employee channel, obviously. I started off as an advisor, then I became a coach, then I became a manager, then I became a interim field vice president, and then back in 2009, when we bought H&R Block, there was an office across the street from me. They were a significantly more tenured office, and when we consolidated the offices down, they went with the H&R Block manager, which was fun. And I basically went back into private practice, and I haven't looked back.
Nice. Okay, so you're in leadership too. That's an interesting perspective. That's awesome. Okay. So what do you, other than like the financial crisis, which of course like totally changed our industry, what do you think are some of the biggest changes that clients are expecting in the times you've been an advisor?
Clients are definitely more, I don't think demanding, but I would say they're more commanding of when they get responses back.
Okay.
I think, so looking at the landscape and looking at where the puck is headed, I think that we're going to end up being more of a private wealth, private banking relationship type of business where it's going to be mostly relationship oriented, and it'll go from, because technology is reshaping the way that we're looking at everything, clients want everything quickly. They don't want to have to wait 48, 72 hours to get an answer. They just want to be acknowledged. In today's world where we've seen how everything has almost become desensitized, I think they still want that personal relationship. And so being able to find ways to leverage the technology in the right way, I think that's the biggest disruptor that we have right now. You've got an aging population within the industry as a whole, and
right.
slow uptake on it, which I think creates opportunity for me.
I think that's very true, especially in the market you are in, where not only you have a client base that's older, but then obviously new blood moving in all the time, but it seems like advisors as well.
Yeah, the funniest thing about that is that like we're going through this whole digital enhanced experience or whatever it's called, and it's funny because you've got an advisor force that is tenured, and I think the closest guy to me has probably got 10 years on me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same old adage. It's gosh, my clients don't want this. They don't even have email and all that kind of stuff. And here's what I find is funny. My grandfather still lives in Zimbabwe, and he's 94 years old this year.
Wow.
Yeah, and he FaceTimes with his great-granddaughter.
Oh, that's cool.
So, here's a guy from a third world country that doesn't have T1 lines. And he's figured out how to have an email address. So, when I hear people say, I tell them my grandfather's story. And then I usually will feel clients out. I'll talk to them about their families and be like, how often do you talk to your grandkids or your kids? And I'm like, you'll never believe it. We just FaceTimed, or, and it's like, so you do have an email address. So let's get that down. I think they're so worried about being inundated with a bunch of garbage or, privacy and all that stuff. So that's the way that I've really kind of taken a hold of it is saying that, hey, this is going to enhance your experience with us. It gives you the opportunity to see things real time. So when you're worried, leverage the tools that you have, and worst case scenario, just shoot me an email and then I can give you a call back, or I can shoot you an email back, whatever's easier for you. But, and they get it. Especially with our practice, we've kind of been on this high growth trajectory. They know that time is limited, and they actually appreciate that because they like that phone call back. And usually I start off every phone call with, hey, I've got about 5 minutes. Wanted to make sure that I got back to